Hello, Just2 Film here, and the other day I watched an early screening of Saturday Night. I don't know, it's playing early in New York. This is Jason Reitman's next movie. And Jason Reitman has made some great movies. I love Up in the Air. Juno is kind of a classic at this point. But then you got stuff like Men, Women, and Children, which is pretty laughably bad, or the overly sentimental Ghostbusters Afterlife, which I don't know, just came off kind of cheesy to me. So Saturday Night is almost in the spirit of, say, a Birdman, where you have this frantic, almost thriller-like drama, but this has a lot more jokes in it because, well, it's based around the first airing of Saturday Night Live. It's about the lead-up and chaos that ensued before the first Saturday Night Live airing on TV. Mostly following Lorne Michaels. That's the lead, played by, I think it's Gabriel LaBelle, who was the kid from Fabelmans. And he does a good performance here, but his character just isn't that interesting. Like, okay, Lorne Michaels was, unconfident and nebbish before Saturday Night Live. And now, you could perceive him as a genius. You could perceive him as somebody who's cocky nowadays or whatever. But you just kind of get that storyline that I've seen done better in other movies with better writing and with better characters. Because he's about the most defined character, because the rest of the cast here is reduced to like one-note representations of themselves. And that was just frustrating. I know it has a large cast, but you can make these characters distinguished and interesting and not rely on, hey, you know this celebrity, right? You know this celebrity, right? And that's what they do, right? And this is what we think of them because we're riffing on them. And when I say this is what we think of them, I don't mean like literally it's saying, oh, this actor or actress is just this one joke, but rather the character's reacting to that character's one joke. For example, you get Jim Henson in the movie, and Jim Henson, literally, the whole exploration of Jim Henson here is, haha, he's wholesome, and everybody else is making fun of how he fists puppets and making sex jokes. And then at one point, Jim Henson says the F word. And it's like, okay, Jim Henson says fuck, okay, that's it. That's all we got. So that's the Jim Henson portrayal. Andy Kaufman, everybody's like, oh, Andy Kaufman's weird. Andy Kaufman's weird. Andy Kaufman does the Mighty Mouse bit. Okay. Why did they think it was genius before when they were all riffing on him before? Or it's just, oh, everybody doubted this thing before and now they're doing it successfully, which is the arc of the whole movie. And that's it. You don't really get characters in here. You get, oh, you know this celebrity? Well, somebody's portraying them and they appear in two scenes. It's frustrating. It's very hollow as an experience. And it almost feels like a puff piece for Saturday Night Live where it's like, oh, Lorne Michaels, he's so unconfident, but he has this whole crew here. And oh, they came together and made a genius of a show. I will say, this movie ends at like one of the most frustrating parts for me. And I'm like, they really ended there. Of course they ended there. In many ways, this feels like the film doesn't have a payoff. It builds up and it just never pays off. It just ends. And I'm just like, okay, like really? It's funny that Saturday Night, the movie, was painfully unfunny. Like, I don't know. I did not laugh very much during this movie, even though there's so many attempts at quips where it's like, haha, this celebrity, said something funny, but it's never done in an effective way, it feels like. There were maybe like 3 laughs throughout the movie that were kind of like, and then that's it. That's, I think, a detriment to the film when it's about Saturday Night Live and they have so many attempts at humor. Oh, and I know a lot of people are trying to see this movie because Rachel Sennott is in it. I hope I said her name right. I love her too, but dang is she boring in here. Like, her character, just like the celebrity ones, I didn't recognize her, the person she's playing, is melted down to 1 or 2 character traits, and that's really all you get. And it's just like, okay, whatever. And here she's like, oh, not as romantically involved with Lorne Michaels, but is married, and oh, she's the brains behind the operation. Okay, so it's just kind of like, whatever. I don't know. There are good performances for the impressions they're doing. It's more of the writing that's the problem. In particular, like the Chevy Chase performance I thought was really good. And I liked the storyline they had there towards the end of the movie, but it was like one scene and then it was over, and it's like, okay. And I will say the first half of this is so boring. Oh my gosh. I finally started to get a little bit more into it in the latter half, but by then it just ends and I'm just like, wow, was that even worth it? I do like how it's seemingly shot on film because at some points it actually feels like a 70s film, which is around the time this aired or whatever. It's some 70s day. I forgot the specific year they said it, but whatever. So that's kind of cool, and I thought it had a cool visual image there, though at many times it tries to like show off it's doing a oneer, but you could see it does so many of those camera twists that it's just like, oh, they cut there, they cut there, so that didn't even really come off impressive as me. Didn't care for the score, but it does have some good licensed music, even some different interpretations of licensed music I love, so there's that. I don't know if there's much else to say, but that's my thoughts on Saturday Night. And I want to say Saturday Night Live, but it's just Saturday Night. Oh, they dropped the live, but that's the name of it before Saturday Night Live. Yeah, oh, J.K. Simmons is pretty good in here as Milton Berle. Willem Dafoe, I love seeing, but he didn't really do much in here. So yeah, with all things considered, I give this a 4 out of 10, and I don't really recommend it. But let me know if you've seen Saturday Night, and leave me... See, I almost said Saturday Night Live, but leave me your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll see you later. Peace out. Bye.